Hey, my name is Rowan Smith and I want to welcome you to the Training for Trekking podcast. Now, this is the world's very first podcast which is entirely dedicated to helping you train, prepare and conquer your upcoming hike, trek or mountain adventure. So once a week, I'm going to be giving you quality and practical information on the subjects of physical preparation for trekking, dealing with altitude and nutrition on the trail, so you can know everything you need to be doing to have the best chance of a safe, enjoyable and successful adventure. So now you know what you're in for. Let's get into today's episode. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. And today I want to talk you through one of the most important strategies that you can apply, which can make a dramatic difference to your long-term consistency and success with your training. So this episode was inspired by just the sort of my own training, which has sort of been going on the last couple of weeks. So probably in the last 2 to 3 weeks, I've been sort of getting back into my training. So probably about 2 months ago, I got married, and as a lot of people do once they get married, the short-term motivation to get in shape and to be quite fit for your wedding day kind of went out the window. So I've been enjoying eating out a lot, having a few drinks and just generally having a good time. And then probably about 3 weeks ago, I was like, you know what? I'm probably not feeling the best. You know, I've enjoyed myself, but I'm starting to feel a bit low energy. I'm starting to get achy and painy because I'm sitting down all day with work. And you know what? I'm actually ready to kind of get back into things. So essentially, but the thought of me doing like full sessions in the gym or, you know, full longer sessions outdoors really was not appealing to me. So, I sort of set myself the goal as I was going to do 20-minute sessions. I was going to do 4 days a week. 4 to 5 days a week, 20-minute sessions at the end of my day, just in my office at work. I'll just bang out a few exercises, and on top of that, I do lots of sort of walking, and I'll just do a quick walk at lunch, quick walk in the morning, and that would be me. And for 2-3 weeks, I've been doing this. I think it's about 3 weeks now, and it's been going really, really well. I've started feeling good. I've started feeling much more energetic. I've started feeling a lot less achy in my body. And essentially, in the last probably 4 or 5 days, I've been like, you know what? I'm kind of ready to step things up a little bit. I've been doing my 20-minute sessions, I've been doing my walk, and I've been enjoying it, but now I'm kind of ready to do something else. And so I sort of sat down and I sort of started putting together a new plan of attack for myself and my training. And I wrote down all the stuff that I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to start going back to the gym. I'm going to start doing 45-minute sessions in the morning. I'm going to keep on with some shorter sessions in the evening, and I was getting really pumped about it. I was like, you know what? This is going to be good. I'm really looking forward to getting back into some training. I've got this motivation now. I'm really looking forward to making the most of it. And that was, I probably sat down and made that plan on Friday. So probably about, as of the time there's a recording of this podcast, probably about 3 days ago. And then essentially on the weekend, here we go, to add even a little bit more, I was this excited. I actually went out and I bought a bunch of new workout clothes, because I was like, one of the things that I sometimes gets in the way of me training is I run out of clean socks, or my shorts get really sweaty and stinky, or I run out of underwear, literally. And then I'm like, you know what? Well, I can't train today. And it's a poor excuse, but I know that's something I've used for an excuse in the past. So I went out, bought a bunch of socks, bought a bunch of new underwear, bought some new shorts. So I got a couple of spares, and I was like, you know what? I'm ready to roll. And then came Sunday. So one day out from when I was going to start this new training program. And we were sort of, me and Ali, my wife, we were bumming around at home, and she was like feeling like she wanted to do some exercise. And it was also quite rainy, and she didn't really want to go to the gym. She didn't want to go for a walk because it was rainy. Then I was like, you know what? Do you want to do some kettlebell stuff indoors? Because I've got a few kettlebells, which I have in my office. And she used to be big into kettlebell training. Like before we met, she used to absolutely love it. So she thought that was a really good idea. So we cleared a bit of space in our living room. We got some kettlebells out. I got her to write up a session similar to what she used to do. And we went out and did it. And it was sort of a combination of some kettlebell swings, some cleans, some jerks, some snatches, and just playing around all that. And I'll be honest, I'm not the best at kettlebells. I can kind of do it, but I'm definitely not a pro or anything like that. And by the end of the session, because I hadn't really done it, I realized I'd ripped off one of my calluses on my fingers. And it had sort of ripped off, pretty solid effort. It's gone through a couple of layers of skin, and I got this nice sort of blister on my hands. So normally, this isn't a big deal. Blister on your hands, it happens, or whatever it may be. But my intention for this new gym program, and I'm slowly getting to the point. I know I've been rambling a little bit, but I'm slowly getting to the point. My intention of the gym program was going on Monday. I was going to go into the gym. I was going to do some weights and I was going to do a bit of cardio and, do some specific stuff in there. But now I've got this big blister on my hand. And number one, I know doing the weights that I was planning on doing is just not going to be comfortable with this blister. And number two, also I know, training in a public gym with an open cut on your hand, it's not the smartest thing in the world. Now, we all say we clean our equipment, but gyms are filthy places. And having an open cut on your hand, probably not the best thing in the world. So here I was on Sunday evening, and I was at the very cusp of getting into this brand new exercise program. I was excited. I was motivated. I was pumped. I was ready to roll. And all of a sudden, something small little thing has come up which has got in the way of it. And I was like, this is just not realistic. And this is something that happens all the time for us. The best laid plans with our training, whether it's we're starting off a new exercise program, whether we're trying new workouts, whether we're just, had a bit of a low spot and we're feeling motivated to get back into things again. So many times things get in the way. And the mistake I see again and again and again and again from people is they run into this roadblock. They run into this issue. They run into this problem. And that just completely derails. And it's just one little thing which completely destroys the motivation. It completely destroys this feeling of like we're starting anew. It completely destroys the momentum if you've been training for whatever. And this one little thing just gets in the way of things. And it happens all the time. Now, the way that I went about this is I already had a plan B in place for my training. And when I'd sat down and written out this new program, I'd actually sat down and thought, okay, you know what? On the days where I can't get to the gym, maybe I don't feel like it, maybe I just don't have quite as much time to get there, or whatever it may be, I had sat down and thought about what can I do as an alternative in these situations. And the ideas I'd come up with was go for a swim at the beach if it's a nice day, go for a surf, or go for a run. And I'm not a runner by any means, I barely run at all, but I was like, you know what, why not? Maybe I'll start getting back into running again. And I'd literally sat down before this had happened with my hand, and I had those options ready for me. So when I went and was sitting down, I was like, oh my God, I can't go to the gym. This isn't going to be any good. I already had options there, and I could easily just say, you know what, I'm going to go for a run instead. So on Monday morning, this morning, as I'm recording this podcast, I woke up, I put my clothes on, and I went for a run. And the run in itself is a whole different story. It sucked. It wasn't much fun, but I got through it. But the moral of the story is I had a backup plan and it got me through it. And this is something I really, really, really see a lot of people struggle with because we always think about the best case scenario. We sit down, we write things out, we plan things out or whatever it may be, but we very, very rarely think about when things go wrong. And I think just adding an extra 5 minutes or 10 minutes of planning into your week, whether you're starting a new program, whether you're just planning out your week, whatever it may be, and thinking about what can I do if things go wrong, can be so valuable. And it can turn these little roadblocks, which can completely derail people in certain situations, turn them into nothing more than something you just need to adjust around. And you can literally just go, boom, plan B, and away you go. So for me, while my hand is still, have got this open cut, I'm probably not going to go to the gym. But I got a few different options that I can rotate between. I'm going to run. I'm probably going to surf. I'm probably going to swim until my hand is good, and then I'll get into the gym. And for me, that's going to work really well. So for you listening to this, the moral of the story is if you are planning a new workout routine, or if you're just doing the same old routine, and if you're planning out your week or whatever it may be, is I strongly recommend sit down and come up with a plan B for if the weather's not good, or if you don't have as much time, or if you're low on energy, or if something goes wrong, if you deal with an ankle pain and that flares up, and have these options laid out in front of you, ready to go. Hopefully, you never have to use them. But if you do, it's already thought about, it's already there, and you can keep on doing what you need to do without it getting in the way. It sounds so simple, but I guarantee you it is such a valuable thing to do. So please, if you've never really thought about this, if you always plan for the best case scenario, then please take 5 minutes, plan this out. It'll go such a long way. So that's probably about it from me today. I hope that gives some good insight for a few people. I hope that helps a few people, and I really do hope it helps you keep this momentum with your training and, just gives you that little extra boost for when things don't go 100% right. So I hope you've enjoyed today. I hope you have a lovely, lovely rest of your day, and we'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye.